Now, I've spent a lot of time in the last 2-3 weeks talking about how every single poll that comes out has nothing but horrible news for Donald Trump. And wouldn't you know it, a new poll has come out to kind of prove me wrong. Because this poll, believe it or not, actually has some not horrible news for Donald Trump. I mean, it's not great, but it's definitely not as bad as it should be. Not as bad as it could be, not as bad as it should be. But here's what this new poll from Navigator Research found. According to this poll, 1 in 9, so about 11%, of respondents who voted for Trump in 2024 regret having done so. An additional 16% do not regret voting for him, but they're disappointed. So only 11% of people who voted for Trump regret it. That seems low. Only 16% who don't regret it, but do say they're disappointed in him. That also seems very low for a grand total, of course, of 27%. So the poll goes on to say that 73% of people who voted for him, these are Trump voters, not the public in general, 73% of Trump voters say that not only do we not regret it, we're also not disappointed in him. So 73% of people who voted for this are watching what's happening, watching the tanking of the economy, watching U.S. citizens get deported, and they're like, hell yeah, I like this. I'm not disappointed at all. That's awful. Like, that's really, really bad. Those numbers for people who like what they see should be way lower. We shouldn't want people to look at what's happening and say, hell yeah, this is awesome. No, that's bad. That's really, really bad. But it's good for Trump. At least depending on how you look at it, right? Because framing is everything. We could look at this and say, 10% of the people who voted for Trump regret it. And that's not a high enough number. Or you could look at it this way. This poll came out right around the 100th day, a day or two after. So in 100 days, 10% of the people who voted for Trump now say they regret it. So we're looking at every 10 days, 1% of people who voted for Trump say they regret it. So 10 days from now, we're not going to be at 11%, we're going to be at 12%, right? If the trend continues. 20 days from now, we're going to be at 13%. Another 100 days from now, we could be at 21% say that they do regret voting for him. So if you look at it that way, that Trump is losing 1% of his support every 10 days, then okay, makes sense. Because that means by the end of his term, 136% of the public will regret voting for him, which I know we can't hit that number. So if you look at it as a possible trend, losing 1% every 10 days, then hey, that is good news. But if you look at it as only 10% of the people who voted for this regret it, that's low, then that's bad news. So again, it's all about framing. It's all about state of mind when you look at these opinion polls like this. And at first, of course, I looked at it and said, only 10%, that's way too low, that's bad. But losing 1%, every 10 days, 1% of the people who voted for you say, okay, I regret it now, then that could mean there is hope. Because if those numbers continue, then yes, that is going to be bad for Donald Trump, but more importantly, it's going to be bad for the Republican Party as a whole. So sometimes we have to shift the way we look at things. Because even something that on its surface may seem not as bad as we would like it to be, turns out, if you frame it a different way, if you look at it with a different, vision, suddenly it actually seems pretty good. And that's what this poll is about. It just depends on how you look at it, depends on how you want to stack up that math. But overall, I went from thinking that, hey, those numbers should be higher to, holy crap, he's losing a lot of support every couple of days. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.